Rosie, you better give up now. You better retire, lay down the boots or hang up the whisk, whatever you want to do, because this pudding is going to win hands down. It's a classic. It's an old-fashioned pudding. It's from England, where you come from, and it's the most delicious pudding you'll ever eat.
Well, I'll see when I see what you're putting in your pudding.
I know you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. Now, what I'm going to get you to do, there's some eggs there, great eggs. I want you to separate the eggs. Yolks on one side, whites on the other, and I'll show you what I do with them. Now, here I've got some milk and some cream that I've just brought up to the boil. What I'm going to do is add 200 grams of caster sugar in there, and I'm also going to add some of this vanilla bean paste because we want a really nice vanilla flavour from the vanilla bean paste. In it goes, about a teaspoon of that. Now, what I should do if I want to be accurate, and usually when you're making pastry dishes, you have to be really accurate.
It's your time to be accurate.
I would actually measure it out, but you know what I'm like. I like to live on the edge a little bit, don't I? Now, what I'm going to do is just give that a little bit of a whisk around there to make sure that the sugar, the milk and the cream and the vanilla all combine together for that luscious deliciousness, which is what I'm looking for. Now, to add to that, I'm going to put some lemon zest. Now, you can add a lot of lemon zest or just a little bit of it.
Yep.
I'm going to add 1 lemon zest, but if you love heaps of lemon, by all means, add a cup of lemon zest in there, and that makes it nice and tasty. Give that a bit of a tap like that to make sure we get all the good stuff out of it. Now I'm going to use some butter. This is lightly salted butter. You know, so I don't have to add any salt to my my dessert. I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Just a tiny bit of butter goes in there. And why not? We'll add a tiny bit more. So you only ever add just a tiny bit of butter. And what I'll do is I'll turn that off now because we're already up at heat. You can see that's boiled up nicely.
Lovely.
Now what I'm going to do is thicken it up. And what I do is thicken it up with breadcrumbs. Now these aren't the dried breadcrumbs that you get out of a packet. What I did is I went down to the baker. I bought a loaf of bread, unsliced, cut the crusts off the outside of it because the crusts make your hair go curly, threw them in the bin, and then in my Maggi Mix, I mixed this up till it was nice and light and fluffy. And the trick is, if you want to pre-do this, you could always pre-do it, pop it in the freezer, and it's nice and fresh.
So you want the fluffy, fresh stuff?
Oh, the fluffy, fresh stuff, exactly. Now, what I'm going to do is pop that into my pot here, and all the milk and the cream will soak up all that breadcrumbs. And what I do is I stir it around, and you'll see it starting to thicken up a little bit. The bread will start to soak up all that delicious, lovely
almost looks
bread.
like rice pudding at the moment, doesn't it?
Exactly what it is. Now, if you grab the yolks there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this cream, and I'm going to add the yolks to the bread mixture here. Now, to mix it together, I'm going to add some more luscious cream to it, about 2-3 tablespoons. And if you stir that around so the egg yolk and the actual cream go together beautifully. And what I'll do is I'll stir this around as you pour that egg yolk into here. There we go. Off we go. And that'll help to thicken it up nicely. There we go. All in there. That's it. Beautiful. Look at that lovely egg. And it also gives it a lovely colour, lovely flavour, and helps to thicken it up. Now, you're probably thinking at this stage, what are we going to do? Now, I've got these souffle dishes here. Now, you can make this in a large dish or in smaller ones if you want. Now, I prefer to make it in smaller ones because everyone gets their individual serving of the pushing. There's no fighting. And what I'll do is I'll carefully pour it in there, about 2/3 of the way up. Some people like to butter these dishes beforehand, but I reckon there's enough butter in here to make sure nothing sticks. And I'll just pour that
coconut
all the
oil
way
as well.
You could coconut oil it if you want. You could put some more butter on it. You could spray it with the olive oil. You could just about do anything you want, but this will be perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is pop this into the oven. It's on 180 degrees Celsius. It'll take about 25 to 35 minutes. It will firm up. It will set like a beautiful custard. Now, while that's cooking, what I'm going to do is whisk up some egg whites so they come together beautifully, and we'll prepare some berry compote with some brandy to make it delicious. Into the oven we go. Now you can see the puddings have set nicely. They've got that little sort of softness to them.
Bouncy.
Yeah, they are. They're gorgeous. They have puffed up a little bit and gone down a bit, which is what I want. Now, to put the layer in the middle, we need a jam compote or some jam. What I've got is some compote there.
A little hack, this one.
Exactly. If you can pour it into that bowl there, and what I'm going to do is add some brandy to it. If you want, you can put anything you want in there, some frangelico, some brandy.
Do you want all of this gorgeous compote?
Go to town. We want to make this
Okay.
one of the best desserts you've ever eaten. So put it all in there.
You've got
and
it.
then stir it around nice and gently to make sure all of that brandy's mixed in nicely.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do is put it evenly on the tops of these ones here. There we go. Straight on the top of that one there. There we go. Beautiful. You can smell the compote going straight onto it. It's delicious. Now what I'm going to do is pick up this tea towel here. Make sure you use a clean tea towel. And what I'm going to do, Rosie, is the next stage. I'm just going to sneak in there. There we go. Grab that baby there. Pick that up. It's quite hot. What I'm going to do is put the meringue. Now the egg whites that were left over from the yolks that we separated,
Brilliant.
we put it into a Maggi mix and we whisked it up with some sugar until we got this lovely meringue on the top here. Now normally what you would do with the queen of puddings is put the meringue on top of it and then put it into the oven. But I'm going to show you a little something that I picked up just in case you want to do it nice and fast. What I've got is one of these blow torches. There we go. And this is one of these tricks I picked up from Grandma's house.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is just go around the outside here, and it's a great quick way of finishing this off. Also, if you've got a dinner party, it's a great way
Impress the guests,
impressing your guests, and it just comes up nice and neatly. Nice little caramelisation on the outside. Look at that. It's beautiful. There we go. Turn this off.
That's fantastic.
These are really dangerous. Be careful of them. Make sure the kids don't play with them. It's, anything could possibly happen, so make sure you put that away. And another little trick is I always separate them, take them apart, and then put both parts separately, because I've got 3 boys, and you know what sort of trouble boys get into. Now, I'm going to grab that there, and I'm going to give you a spoon and me a spoon, and we're going to tuck straight into here. And I want you to tell me the truth, that it is the best dessert you've had in a long time. It is the great pudding.
Well, we will see.
And it's one of the best desserts in the whole...
Look
look
at
at that.
that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That is fantastic. I want all 3 layers on this one.
I'm foaming at the mouth. I know this is going to be good. I know how delicious it is, and I know how fluffy
Smells
it is.
divine.
It's so light and fluffy and flavoursome, and it's delicious, isn't it?
It does taste a bit like Grandma's house, doesn't it? I think that's how a pudding should make you feel. That's really, really lovely. It's not too sweet either. That's actually really divine.
You keep talking, because I can tell you, it's one of the most delicious things. A fluffy little dessert, easy to make, simple ingredients. It's a cracker, isn't it?
Well, I have to say, I think you might have won that one.
Champion.